was that the day of the Lord has come, and you're living in the day of the Lord. Now, the phrase, the day of the Lord, is a phrase we find in the Old Testament and in the New Testament. And the phrase, the day of the Lord, is a phrase that references the coming of Jesus, when he will receive all of us into his presence, and the wrath of God will be poured out on this world. We talked about that in the first letter that Paul writes to the church at Thessalonica in chapter 4, where we will be taken into heaven and the wrath of God will be poured out. And you don't want to be here when the wrath of God is poured out. And all of a sudden, in the church at Thessalonica, as they begin to go through persecution and hardship and difficulty, and his life gets hard and harder and harder, and it looks like it's not going to get any better. There were people that were saying to them, you know what? I think, based on what we are walking through right now, we are experiencing the wrath of God. I believe that we're in the day of the Lord. I believe the hard wrath of God, the punishment of God on this world has fallen, and you and I are experiencing that right now. Now, in essence, this is what it was they were hearing. You've missed the second coming. Now, you can imagine why they were afraid. You can imagine the chaos. You can imagine the fear. You can imagine the confusion. They had found great comfort in the fact that Jesus was coming again. They were looking for the coming of Jesus Christ. That was the very hope they were holding to redeem them from the difficulty they were experiencing. And now all of a sudden, there were people that were saying to them, no, you are experiencing right now the wrath of God. They were afraid they had missed.